It's been a little while since I did a Fire Sale franchise episode. Now, it's not been more than a week. Well, it has kind of been more than a week, but as in still have done a video every week. Just the gap because of a slight schedule change, which I will explain tomorrow on Saturday. There was a gap from last Tuesday until this Friday, so more than a week, but still an episode a week. And we're changing this up a little bit, so I'm going to be doing more than one game per episode now. That does mean I will be slightly streamlining how much of each game we look at, but it should make it a quicker experience altogether. That was actually the original plan, because obviously the goal with this series isn't just to go through the season with a terrible team and that be it. The goal with the series is to get to the end of the season, to the draft, things like that. That's where we're going to have a lot of fun on this series, and to get through that, obviously we need to get through a few more weeks per episode. So last week we lost to the 0-3 Chargers. That was our chance to go 2-2. We've also had a bye week since then, so it's now week 6, and we're facing the Panthers, who are 3-2 at home. Now we've got to do a little bit of admin. Connor Bath wants to negotiate his contract renewal, but we won't be doing that. So he wants right about $6 million over 3 years, which would make his cap hit $2 million a year. And now that's not that much. We've got a whole bunch of cap space anyway, but we're not going to be using that on a player that we don't really want to keep. He's only a 76 overall anyway. Then we'll do the weekly training, and we'll then be jumping into the game where we host the Panthers. A final point, we have now added Aaron Murray. Therefore, if Christian Hackenberg even plays a little bit badly, if he starts throwing the ball around where it's not supposed to go at all, I am going to drop the guy. Our Georgia players here with Keith Marshall and Malcolm Mitchell have been playing very well for us so far, and we're not just going to let Christian Hackenberg carry on. If we get a chance to get this chemistry with Murray, Marshall and Mitchell going, who knows if that's the thing that'll work, but we're going to try anyway. But I've got hope for Christian Hackenberg. Yeah, he's played very well at some times, not just going to give up on him now. This week it all seemed to click up front, and we had plenty of pressure on Cam Newton, and there's Michael Bennett getting the first sack of the game, and here he's dropping back again, and this time the pressure doesn't quite get to him. Benjamin makes an incredible catch there, and on first and goal here we diagnose a fake dive flip. The two defenders get to him there, stop him on the 5-yard line, but then they do the same thing the other way around, a spin move there, and we don't manage to get him down before he gets in for the touchdown. So we're down 7-0, and here's a really nice throw to GJ Foster. He reads that block perfectly. He's becoming really good for us in the receiving game. And here's Keith Marshall, who's starting to look like one of the best in the league, taking it outside the tackles. A nice run there. Big gain for him down to the 21-yard line. And Tajay Sharp made a difference last week, and he's doing it again today. A nice catch there in traffic, takes it down to the 4-yard line, gives us a chance for this. Keith Marshall gets in for the touchdown. Nice short run play there for him. And the pressure keeps coming. Dion Jordan here coming off the right side, hits Cam Newton, forces that fumble. Mike Remmers there catching the ball in mid-air, but getting tackled down there by Kevin Pierre-Lewis. And he's dropping back again, Cam Newton here, but this time absolutely no pressure. He rolls out though, nothing was open, and Dion Jordan gets to him again. And here's just a bad play on our part. We go for a screen here in the end zone, ends up getting a safety because he just fell down with the ball. Should have really knocked it down. And a big play there from Akeem Davis after they marched down the field on us. Forces that fumble, struggles to pick it up a couple of times, but gets the recovery in the end. And from here, we can just kind of walk into the end zone there. Nice play there to Malcolm Mitchell. He managed to hold on to it, gets the touchdown. And they got down the field with a single second left on the clock, kicked the field goal, so it's 12-14 going into the half. But we are leading here at home against the Panthers. And here's another screenplay to GJ Foster, a chance to redeem himself for that end zone. And he makes those great reads on the blocks, gets tackled downfield, but he picks up some serious yardage there. And then Keith Marshall spins off the right side there and gets a huge gap down the side. A load of time to run, and what a stiff arm there on Coleman, just shoves the guy off him. We come down here, and there was a chance there for the wheel route to Marshall, but he gets sacked, and we end up having to go for the field goal. Pressure again there on Cam Newton, been really good today, and that was his first incompletion of the day. And then shortly after there, Philly Brown down to the 1-yard line, and then they get a chance here just to walk it in. So much space in the middle, a bad defensive play there. And then here's the 2-point conversion, but he doesn't get it. He gets taken down again. That pressure today's been amazing. If it didn't work the first time, but it worked the second time, why not try it a third time? Screenplay to DJ Foster, jumps over that guy, gets down the sideline, so much space to run. He does get caught in the end by Ben Wickery, but he gets down the field. A huge gain from a short pass, and here Malcolm Mitchell just working the middle of the field, takes it there, makes a couple of guys miss, takes it inside the 15-yard line. Keith Marshall kind of becoming a red zone specialist here. He can beat you inside, outside. He's a tough guy to match up against, and he gets his second rushing touchdown of the day there. And here the Panthers had a mismatch on us. That's Akeem Davis, the safety, against Kelvin Benjamin, the huge receiver, and they get in there, and they get the 2-point conversion that time. So they're now up 26-23, a single field goal. Cam Newton shakes off 2 sacks there. Finally, after that, Kevin Pierre-Louis gets him on his second attempt, gets him down, and there the pressure is again forcing Cam Newton to overthrow his receiver there. Pressure has been amazing today. And here on 4th and 2, we're going for this fake flip they got us with, and Keith Marshall just breaks it. Great blocking downfield by Brandon Coleman. He just broke it straight open, and nobody is going to catch Keith Marshall when he's on the outside like that. Nobody in the league will ever catch him. Amazing touchdown from him there. Takes us up 30-26, but the Panthers are back, challenging us again, but here the defenders managed to hold Cam Newton, who probably should have taken it and ran there. There was no one on the right side of the field to throw to, but they did score the touchdown. Here's the final play of the game. As time runs out, we do lose 33-30. And that's what it comes down to, 3 points in that game. We led at times, we were behind at times, and in the end we lost. What a shame, we almost got to that overtime. Really impressed with the team today though. So Christian Hackenberg, I think we lit a fire up underneath him with bringing in Aaron Murray. He finally felt like he was probably going to be replaced, because let's face it, Matt Barkley was never going to take his job after his week 1 performance. 74% completion percentage through 1 touchdown. Average of 9.1. He did really well today, 113 rating. Couldn't have done much better. Did miss a couple of throws that maybe ended up hurting us down the line, but you can't do everything perfect every game, and he did pretty much everything we asked of him. Rushing Keith Marshall, another great day. Only 12 attempts, 123 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 runs of 20 plus yards as well. Now receiving, DJ Foster is becoming a superstar on this team. 10 receptions, 135 yards out of the backfield. We split him out wide as well. We can do what we want with him. 4 receptions for Mitchell, 63 yards and a touchdown. Sudfeld, a couple of receptions. Tajay Sharp, only 3 receptions, 41 yards, important runs there. Brandon Coleman, only 2 receptions today. Keith Marshall, another one, that final play. Defensively, we did very well. Kevin Pierre-Louis, a great day for him. 4 tackles for a loss between the guys here. 1 sack for Dion Jordan, 1 sack for Pierre-Louis, 1 sack for Michael Bennett, and then Devin Still and Akeem Davis sharing a sack. We really got to him with the pressure. Of course, Akeem Davis, a forced fumble as well with the recovery, but in the end, it wasn't enough. We lose 33-30 at home. So we did have an injury there to a strong safety. Fleming it was. Not a problem, he's just a backup. We'll be able to go on for 5 weeks without him. We should be fine. And after a game like that where nothing really went wrong, scouting players wise, we're just going to keep scouting through the rounds. But one thing we don't need is running backs or wide receivers, that is for sure. Thank you to the guy who in the comments pointed out you can unlock all the things with Square. Going to save me a lot of time. If you could do that on previous games, I've been wasting a whole bunch of my time. Pretty nice looking middle linebacker here actually, Sloan from UCLA. What I like about him is the B block shedding. If we find a middle linebacker with better block shedding than that would be perfect. The tackling, the hit power, everything's good on this guy. This is someone I'm going to target actually, because one of the problems we have with our linebackers is they just get stuck in the blocks. If we get a guy who can get off there, tackle the running back, that will really help, because a lot of yards are yards after contact or yards just running by a guy who's absolutely stuck in a block. So that's the scouting for that week. Pretty good there actually. I'm pretty happy about finding that linebacker. Definitely somebody I'm going to target. And let's move on to the next week. So a tough game this week. We're 1-4. We're going to the Kansas City Chiefs, who are 5-0. So we've done the week's training. Let's get into this game and see if we can spoil the party for the Chiefs at home. So in this game, to start it off, the defense holds, gets them on a 4th down, and they miss that field goal wide right. So we get a chance now to score first despite not receiving the kick. And what a terrible interception by Christian Hackenberg. Completely misses his guy, throws behind him, and Justin Houston intercepts it there. But the pressure again today, and that's Trey Flowers picking it up. He's obviously not going to be able to outrun Jamal Charles, but he tries anyway. The pressure last game was amazing. It's amazing again this week. A forced fumble there. Trey Flowers gets it. That flag thrown there, but Coleman makes a nice play there against Nelson, the other corner for the Chiefs. The flag was against the defense, so we get the reception, and here DJ Foster just walks into the end zone on a nice little out for him. He was so good last week. He's already scored a touchdown again this week, and now Smith has a load of time to find his guy. Akeem Davis misses that tackle. He doesn't do that often, but he did it there. So the Chiefs score a touchdown. We missed our extra point, so it's 6-7. And Pharaoh Cooper here managed to find a seam down the outside there. Does get pushed out there. Well, Bravo pushed in by Sherman, the fullback, tackling him. But it's excellent starting field positioning. We go outside here to Tajay Sharp. And what a stiff arm. And another push off on Nelson. Nelson twice was shoved away from Tajay Sharp there. We've been picking on that left side of the field all day. And that just sneaks in there, that field goal. The wind just took it inside. Connor Bath already missed an extra point today. And another forced fumble there. That's Dion Jordan. Picks up the own fumble that he caused and takes it in for the touchdown. That is our first defensive touchdown of the season. And it was all Dion Jordan. He caused the fumble. He recovered the fumble. He scored the touchdown. And here we managed to kind of sniff out the screen. Hold them there on a third down. They go for the field goal. 19-10 the score now. Coleman again. We're picking on Nelson. Coleman makes that play. Any other cornerback probably would have intercepted that, but we get the touchdown instead. Coleman, nice play from him, getting that ball and taking it into the end zone. And here, Smith on third down, throwing it up again. Good pressure again today. And the pressure's getting to Alex Smith. He overthrows his guy. That's DeJuan Smith with the interception. He was in the right place at the right time. And this is just an excellent play from Tajay Sharp. Slightly thrown away from him, but he manages to corral it in, takes it down to the 2-yard line. Tajay Sharp, when he's been needed, has played very well today. And there's a sack fumble. We're up 25-10, 6 minutes left in the fourth, but Christian Hackenberg has coughed it up again on a sack. That's his number one problem, and he continues to do it. Here, Jamal Charles, we were blitzing up the middle, but that's nothing to Charles. He beats our one guy, breaks the tackle, takes it all the way for a 55-yard touchdown. Amazing play from him, terrible play from our defense. And now this is Aaron Murray in the game at quarterback. What we've done is basically we can do it under the pretense that we're just taking out Hackenberg because we've clearly won the game 25-7, 2:36. Time to run out the clock. On the last play Hackenberg was in, he did get sacked, so we can pretend we're trying to protect our quarterback, but actually what we're doing is just giving Aaron Murray a chance without having to give that outside view that we're kind of worried about the quarterbacks. Aaron Murray now, we're getting a look at him because Christian Hackenberg has annoyed me so much with these fumbles, so we gave Murray a chance. He did alright, ran the clock down, 10 seconds left here for the Chiefs. Nobody was open, great coverage downfield, and Kevin Pierre-Louis can come in there, make the sack, and they run out of time before they can run a final play, and we win 25-17. What an absolute game, our first full easy victory. I know obviously at the end they started to come down the field at us, but we were up 25-10 at one point. That 15-point lead is definitely the biggest lead we've ever had, and Aaron Murray, in the couple of throws we gave him, performed pretty well there with 100% completions on 4 attempts, but still we did take out Hackenberg at the end there because he fumbled it again. He keeps doing that. Obviously he didn't actually have a bad game, threw a bad interception on one of his first plays of the game, but came back, 2 touchdowns, 72% completion percentage, 167 yards, not much asked of him there. Rushing, Keith Marshall not as prolific today, 17 attempts, 80 yards, 4.7 yards per carry average there, no touchdowns or anything. Christian Hackenberg, the fumble, like I said. Receiving wise today was Brandon Coleman's day again. He was lined up against Nelson of the Chiefs all the time, so Malcolm Mitchell was most of the time up against Marcus Peters, and we just ignored that side of the field. An extremely good player there on that side of the field, as well as Justin Houston, so if he dropped back into coverage, that's the worst side of the field to go to. So we picked on Nelson most of the time with Brandon Coleman, 5 receptions, 86 yards and a touchdown for him. DJ Foster again, 5 receptions, 50 yards, 1 touchdown for him. Malcolm Mitchell, like I said, he was up against Marcus Peters, so 3 receptions for him for 11 yards, not much going on that side. Tajay Sharp, again, a couple of good plays from him. Sudfeld kind of starting to come out of the game now. We used him a lot more earlier in the season, and the less we use him, the better we tend to do, so maybe we won't use him at all in the future. Defensively, a good enough show from the linebackers. They had a tough day keeping Jamal Charles in check, but Scooby Wright, Kevin Pierre-Louis did a good job of it. Tackles for losses, we got 4. Sacks, DeJuan Smith got 1, Dion Jordan got 1, Ricky Lumpkin and Kevin Pierre-Louis shared 1, and then DeJuan Smith as well got an interception, the absolute star of that game. A sack and an interception and a forced fumble. He's done everything today. If he's not already high on the depth chart, he is jumping a spot for sure. A sack, an interception and a forced fumble. Dion Jordan as well, that forced fumble recovery, brought it back for the touchdown. What a day for Dion Jordan, what a day for DeJuan Smith. Jordan obviously already starts, but DeJuan Smith, if he's not 1 or 2, he may have jumped a lot of places today. Scouting college players, like I said for the last game, when we do that well, I'm just going to go down in terms of the rounds, because everyone played very well there. Obviously, we've already looked at quarterbacks, we've looked at linemen. And for example, here, this free safety, nice hit power, but not that great tackling. And our free safety does a lot of tackling. Akeem Davis is very good at that. Very good at the last line of defense. He shouldn't be making as many tackles as he does, but he is very good when he needs to. See here again, out with the linebackers, I now know what I'm missing with these guys, and it is block shedding. So B- isn't that bad, but we're really looking for block shedding with these guys. We know what we need from our positions because we know what they don't do well. That is a benefit of playing with a pretty bad team, is you get quite a good idea of what could be better. So again, just a couple of things scouted there, nothing crazy showing up. We take a look at the team and we've got quite a few players upgraded here now. So a lot of guys no longer under 70. So Keith Marshall is now a 70 overall. Tajay Sharp, now the highest rated receiver on the team, 71 overall. Edwards a 72 overall guard, Brenner a 71 rated center now, Sudfeld actually a 72 rating as well now. Defense, that's where a lot of people have improved. D. Milliner 72 rating. So DeJuan Smith is not only just 70, so 2 better than Melvin. I already said because of the crazy game he had where he had an interception, a forced fumble, a sack, that he was going to jump a spot, and he will. Not only as in, if I was looking at this again and saw that he was better than Melvin anyway. Melvin's done alright, I think he's had an interception, but we're going to definitely have DeJuan Smith there at number 2. You win your spots on this team, and that's what he's done. Nate Ebner's been getting slightly better, the linebackers have been getting better. Kevin Pierre-Louis, now a 72 rating, he's been getting much better. Keem Davis, I'm surprised, is only a 69. D. Milliner, we don't hear a lot from, and that's a good thing. He doesn't do too much bad, he doesn't do too much amazing, but they tend to ignore him pretty much over there on the other side. So he's a 72 rating now. Trey Flowers a 72. The team's not looking that bad anymore. Obviously, it's still pretty bad, but we did beat the Chiefs 25-17. The Chiefs, that was their first loss of the season, and it was at home against us. So if that game against the Chiefs was difficult in principle, I think this game against the Seahawks is going to be even more difficult. They are 5-1, we are 2-4. They're coming to us at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, so we may stand a chance there, and we'll be playing that game and another one next week.